This is a video breakdown of the move known as the scissors. JB and Jason will perform it, and then we will fix a few things and break it down step by step. Okay, so the very first thing is that when the flyer is approaching the base, is that her hand is going to touch his shoulder. Then, just like with every single move, her legs need to be as straight as possible, toes pointed. And she's going to approach him in a bit of a scissors thing as well. If you can do a little bit of a scissor kick as she comes in, it will look good. Let's just do that part. Go for it. Good. Now from here, the base will have his hand underneath the lower back, sort of touching the ribs, and this is okay for the ribs because this is supporting, not lifting, underneath her legs here, okay? Now, her hand is wrapped around his neck, or it could be on his trap. It doesn't matter which one. For now, JB, can you adjust to the trap just a little bit? Good, so that it doesn't put any unneeded pressure on his neck. Now, the base, like everything else, should be in a little bit of a second. Good, so go ahead and release her. Let's just work, JB, if you don't mind taking a step off. Let's just take a look at Jason's base, okay? So it's gonna be in a little bit of a second, which is the toes pointing a bit out. The knees travel the direction of where your toes are pointed. Good, and your aim is so that it doesn't go past the knee, because that also puts a lot of pressure. In ballet, it's a little different, because if you lift your foot up, there's a bunch of moves like that. But for a base, we wanna keep both feet heels on the floor. So the wider the better. It's okay. As long as you can get there, remember it's long spine, sitting. So let's see it again, Jason. Good. Can you go even a little wider with your stance? Good. Let's see it. Good. Now go down a little bit. Stay right there. Come a little up. So this is like a level 2 as we worked on levels, right? Now go to a level 3. That's the maximum as a base you're gonna move. You're gonna live in level 3 and 2. The only times you come up to level 1 is at the very beginning or the very end of the lift. You're going to live most of it in level 2 or 3 because then you are putting the energy into the thighs, into the hamstrings, the quads, and the glutes. Okay? So let's begin again. The first step, up. Good. And you see how you went to a level 2? Jason, if you could stay in a level 2 for a second, just for the sake of this. Go a little bit lower. Good. Now, he's going to help with a little bit of a plie bounce. Is going to help get this leg over his neck. This is the downstage leg, and if you're coming up from the left side of him, it is her left leg. Okay? Go ahead. Up. There. Good. Very good. And what JB's doing very good, hold it for as long as you can, guys, I know. This is an awkward position to have them stay in. But her leg is staying straight rather than hooking, which makes the next move easier. Now her hand and her hamstring, or this leg, will be her spring. He's going to plie and come up, and she's going to spring off with this leg, almost like pushing off here with this and his hand, and come up and switch to the other side. Go ahead and release. Thank you. So, stay right there for me, JB. So here's the ideal way to think about it as a flyer. Your right hand and your left leg, if it's the other side, just invert it. This is going to be what she uses to spring herself up in the air. So if the base was to stay stationary, let's say, her hand and leg ideally should be strong enough for her to push up and spring and go over to the other side. And the flyer should be thinking about getting as much height as she possibly can. His job as the base, can we see where your hands are positioned, Jason? Very good. So that hand's on her lower back. Will you just go ahead and step in, JB? You don't have to actually lift. And which leg is in this hand? Very good. And while this leg is hooked over, this is what he has. So what he's thinking of doing, right, is he's going to take this hand, flip them like that. Kind of like, because she's going up and she's providing the spring up, the plie is just to help her get a little momentum. That's all it is. He's not lifting her to the sky. That's not what's happening. So there's no pressure on his shoulder, neck, unnecessary lower back. It is all here from the leg, just the same bounce that we worked on in the first video. So what he's going to do is lift, and think of this as a pizza. A lift and a spin to help her get there for the catch, okay? So let's just try it again. Let's do the whole move. The base knows what he's thinking about. The flyer knows what she's thinking about. Ready? Go ahead. Good, straight leg up, down, spring, pizza, so much cleaner. Good, and release. Very good job. That is the scissors. My turn. Oh!